You ever watch Thomas the Tank Engine?
Here we go.
You watch something nowadays, what is it, huh? Nothingness, twists, violence, drama, no message. What's the point, huh? What are we supposed to learn? Everything I learned about people, I learned from Thomas.
Oh, you had to bring your sticker book, did you?
I always bring my stickers with me, you know that.
Hey, I'm Derek.
And I'm Noah, and you're listening to A Bite Of,
where we take our current favorite pop culture obsession and enjoy it one nibble at a time.
Sometimes on a high-speed bullet train.
I don't know what the laser noise is.
I don't either. So this is, you guys voted. Once a month, we ask you to pick a movie review, and instead of Emily the Criminal, instead of Morbius, instead of Uncharted, you guys... No.
By Sarah Brown.
No. You guys picked Bullet Train. Finally, after 3 rounds of Patreon first movie reviews, you guys did it. It was a landslide. Like this one, I think people were just annoyed that we...
Well, look, I don't want to say that we pushed for a certain movie, that we mentioned it on the podcast, but we did mention this exact movie on the podcast.
We did.
That we wanted to talk about it and watch it.
Mostly so I could just get away from it.
It's funny though, because we knew we were going to keep putting it on the list. It was like a movie we had wanted to see, but because we kept putting it on the list, we weren't watching it.
Yeah.
So thank you for letting us watch this movie.
Just so you know, the movies on the list, 95% of the time, we have not watched them yet. And until you tell us to watch them, we can't watch them. So do you want us to keep...
You have the ultimate power over us. As people who enjoy pop culture, you get to decide what we do and do not watch. So we may never see Emily the Criminal, starring April Ludgate.
So no, I was like, yeah.
Aubrey Plaza.
But so speaking of having ultimate power, so this goes out on Patreon first. Our Patreon members, amazing people.
Call them by their names.
No.
Patricians.
They get to hear our reviews first, even though everybody gets to vote on them. But if you're not a Patreon member and you want to hear these episodes a little earlier and also get other bonus stuff and merch and all that great stuff.
Exclusives, baby.
Yeah. Just go do that. Just join our Patreon and discover all of the wonderful things. Come take a seat at our table at A Bite Of.
Oh, that's beautiful. Wow.
Also, don't forget to subscribe to the show. Leave a review. Put some stars up there because that's how these apps, and they push our show that way. Just, do that.
Yeah, algorithms.
Yeah.
That's my answer for everything. Algorithms. All right.
But as a Patreon member, you guys already know all this, so sorry.
Let's talk a little bit about Bullet Train. So based on the 2010 novel Maria Beetle by Kotaro Isaka, Bullet Train, the movie, was released in the US in 2022. The story follows a troupe of hired assassins aboard a train traveling from Tokyo to Kyoto. The gang comes to realize that there is more at play than they originally thought, and maybe this ride on the Shinkansen won't be so simple after all. A metal briefcase with a train sticker on the handle is passed from person to person, stolen, hidden, used as a shield, and ultimately an explosive. The movie asks, what is fate? How do good and bad luck come to play in life? And how can Thomas the Tank Engine teach us about humanity?
Oh, yeah.
Toot
Well,
toot.
Lemon and Clem.
Lemon and Clement.
I was going to say Clementine, which is also a tangerine, right?
Yeah. I was with you. I got you.
All right. So spoiler alert ahead. Full steam ahead on the spoilers for this. If you haven't seen it already, go watch it. It's on Netflix.
Got him.
Yeah.
Yep.
Couldn't remember what streaming service. So go watch it. It's a fun ride.
Let us officially take a bite of Bullet Train.
Finally.
Woo-hoo.
Okay. This cast is huge. And it's a very stacked cast.
Every time you turn around, star, cameo, star.
That's what I liked about this movie, because I remember seeing the trailers for this movie and not knowing half of these people were in this movie. So anytime we got to see another person, from Bad Bunny all the way to freaking Sandra Bullock, I was like, oh, cool. I like this.
You know, Sandra Bullock has a voice because Sandra Bullock, her body isn't in this movie
Not
until
really.
the end, but she has that voice that like we were going like, who is that?
Yeah.
You know her voice, but like piecing it together was difficult.
It was hard. There was one line towards the end where I was like, that sounds like Sandra Bullock. But I said, who did I say? Julia Roberts. I was like, oh, is that Julia Roberts? Which I was thinking was Sandra Bullock. I mean, it's the same person. So
the part that I knew it was when she said Miss Congeniality. That's not real, but
you should have went with that. I would have
tricked you. I could tell by your face. You were like, oh, okay.
Like, I must have missed that at some point. I actually thought it was like Anya Taylor-Joy at one point. I was like, this sounds like her. Is this her?
Well, for some reason, I feel like Anya Taylor-Joy is to Aaron Taylor-Johnson. You know what I mean? They're like sort of that same age range, like starring in Hollywood movies with three
and
names.
Everything.
Yeah,
everything. They're in everything. So this movie, directed by David Leitch, which I like his career path because he really started as like a stunt guy and like a choreographer, and now he's directing movies like Deadpool 2 and John Wick and all of these movies. So
heavy action.
Yeah, action. Forefront of everything that he does. I thought this one was an interesting entry into his other movies. I think it's action at the very top of priorities and having cool scenes like that. But this one I felt like was interesting. I felt like this one was just like, it's just going to be fun. Like, you don't really have to think too much about it. Because John Wick, I felt like had a level of, even though the body count, I feel like John Wick is much higher. There's something that was a little different with this one, but it worked. Like, it's just a mindless action summer movie that you can enjoy.
Absolutely. I think what sort of feeds into that is we really don't know these characters other than them in this moment in time.
Right.
Whereas something like John Wick, we're getting to know this character. We're staying with them. We're seeing the driving force behind everything that they do. We're literally meeting these characters right now and then getting on the train with them. So I think it's hard to achieve that depth of story when we're not even getting that many flashbacks.
Right. We got some,
but they're given to us in these really quick snippets. So it's not even like when there are those devastating moments, we are able to live in them. I mean, one of our main characters, the father, we know that his little son was pushed off a roof by someone, and it's devastating. But at the same time, we're like, well, we don't know them.
Yeah. And it's also like, we just got introduced to 7 other people.
Right.
Right.
Totally. Yeah. So it's kind of like where there were those opportunities to maybe ruminate in something, we weren't given that opportunity. But I kind of feel like taking a bullet train or a Shinkansen, the whole thing about it is its speed.
Right.
So we're not going to live in those moments. We're just going to go right through it.
I feel like the book might go in depth a little more. I'm interested to read the book. It's going to be on my TBR just because I had so much fun with this movie. I want to see what a novel format of this could possibly be like. I feel like obviously it might be more westernized.
Oh, totally.
With this movie. But either way, I feel like I would have fun with both of them. I do like that they decided to do like a non-linear story with this, with the flashbacks and being like 18 minutes prior to this or 26 minutes prior to this or years prior to this. I like that a lot. And I know that a lot of people said that this movie has like Quentin Tarantino feel to it.
Mm-hmm.
I can kind of see that, but I did feel like it separated itself a little bit because it didn't care to really make you sit with it. It's like, I'm just literally going to give you the things that you need and that's it.
Yeah.
And we're going to keep going.
When I was reflecting on it, I kind of felt like Bullet Train was a mix of 3 movies for me. It was Kill Bill, Speed Racer, and Scott Pilgrim.
Interesting mix of movies.
Right? So like Kill Bill is like there's someone with a vendetta. It's very Asian based.
Don't trust tiny children.
Right. Very true. Speed Racer. I mean, that live action Speed Racer was wild, but I was thinking more about the color scheme, how flashy it was. And Scott Pilgrim and like that kitschiness of Scott Pilgrim with putting people's names on the screen and introducing people. Like it sort of had that fun aspect to it.
Is there a word for that type of thing? You know, like they do in Scott Pilgrim or they did in Miss Marvel or, you know, where they're adding a little bit more, I don't want to say like anime flair to it, but a little kind of that kitschiness or that campiness to it. That's not so much like Sam Raimi campiness, but this like other way where it is like that action anime focused campiness to it. I wonder if there's like, is it a new genre that's being made that has yet to be named?
Eben Bolter, if you're listening, can you tell us?
Our best friend, Eben Bolter. I'm already trying to like finagle my way into like getting him back on the show because he worked on Secret Invasion that's coming up. So
he's
we'll
like,
see.
Please stop adding me.
Yeah. I'm going to, when he does come back on the show, I'm going to ask him, please coin the phrase for this type of thing.
Thank you.
He probably already knows. But
he absolutely does. That's why we're asking him. He's the expert that we know.
Yeah. I did like that though. I thought it was, again, I do feel like that's like a Western thing, but it's cool. I like that they're doing that. Also, Scott Pilgrim's getting its own anime. Just have to put that out there.
With the OG actors.
Yeah.
As
so
the
cool.
voice cast.
Yeah.
It's going to be amazing. I did want to say, as far as the book is concerned, this is actually in a trio of books.
Oh, there's more. It's a series.
This is actually the second one.
Oh.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Is Maria the main character?
Well, Maria is the name of the Sandra Bullock character.
Right.
So it is a man. It's like the Brad Pitt character.
Okay.
And like you said, there was a New York Times article and he was fine with how westernized they made it. But, in the book, they're all Japanese.
Right. I assumed.
Yeah. But I thought that it was interesting that Maria Beetle was the title of the book and it became Bullet Train.
Interesting that they also started with the second one.
Maybe it's the most action-y out of all of them.
Can't wait to read this.
Yeah.
I'll report back. Maybe on Discord. I'll just say, hey, I'm reading this. And this
Get
is
it popping on the Discord.
Yeah. But so let's talk about our categories. I like how the plot of the movie is everybody is like traversing this train in this weird scheme that they're all connected to, but also in like they're all trying to out scheme each other and out kill each other without really realizing how intertwined they all are in one plot.
And even
that's like the simplest way to put it.
Well, that's why like my synopsis up top, it was kind of like you can't say much about it because it's just these assassins who don't think they know each other, but actually do know each other in some way. And they're all there for their own reasons. But in reality, they're there for someone else's reason. And they think they're fighting each other, but really they should be working together.
Yeah, they should. I mean, the movie's I want to say like the biggest attraction for this movie is the cast and the stunt choreography. And they nailed both of those. I wasn't expecting some Oscar-winning, tear jerker or anything like that. I wanted to be entertained, and I feel like they really did that. And I like that David Leitch's kind of stunt background shows through his movies because you could tell that he really pays close attention to that. Like my favorite one, which one? When Ladybug and Lemon were fighting while seated. Oh my God. While seated on the train and they were fighting, but they also had to be quiet.
Yes.
Oh, it was so good. Well, I love fight scenes like that because it's not just punching.
Yeah. And I think that's one of the big things that drew me to really enjoying this was that it was that fantastic fight choreo, the sleek and fun design of everything, but also there's a lot of humor.
Yeah, it was very witty. It's a very witty movie.
Like they're having that physical quiet back and forth, but then there's also the woman who's down the train from them telling them to be quiet.
Yeah. Be quiet, lady. Stop it.
Listen, there's
Mind
always a Karen. There's always a Karen, no matter where you go.
There really is. Yeah. I mean, that's what the movie set out to do. And I feel like I'm glad it exists. And I'm glad we got to experience it because like neon drenched kind of nonchalant, fun movies are almost what the movies are about. Like, I feel like movies have kind of got this weird status over the last couple of years where it's like, if it's not trying to get an award, if it's not trying to do this, if it's not trying to be, I don't know, exactly like the source material, it's not going to be good. But I feel like this one, I feel like the critics tore this one apart a little bit because that's how the industry is almost going.
Yeah.
But like, it's Brad Pitt. Like I told Derek, I was like, him in this movie, he just felt like a golden retriever that ate a wellness book and is just trying to do his job.
I very much felt I was one with Ladybug, the character.
Yeah.
You're just trying to get by in life. You know, you're trying to reinvent yourself, maybe put a couple of phrases in your back pocket to make you feel better. And it's just the environment around you will not stop kicking you in the face.
Yeah.
And for him, literally.
Yeah. But, you know, his character's funny. I would say he's the main character, really.
Yeah.
And his whole character's a contradiction because he's going to therapy. He's trying to find his purpose or like his fulfillment. Nobody's making him do this job, so he keeps doing this job anyway. And he keeps saying he's unlucky, but yet he doesn't die from most of the things that would have killed anybody.
2 doses of killer venom survives them both.
So he's just like this weird, like walking contradiction. But it is so much fun to see Brad Pitt play this character and just kind of go train by train, being like, what is going on? When Bad Bunny showed up and just started trying to kill him, that was the funniest part in the movie to me, because he was just like, I don't know you.
And he was just getting off the train. He was like, I did it. I completed my mission. And then it was so funny because like the door opens and I literally was like, hey, that's Bad Bunny.
Yeah.
I was like, it's Bad Bunny.
Yeah. Bad Bunny's in this.
So good. And that, you know, but that's what's funny is that, right, he's saying bad luck follows me. But in that scene with Bad Bunny, it almost seems like all of his defenses are almost on accident and are good luck.
Mm-hmm.
The way the knife flies off the case and into Bad Bunny and, you know, eventually killing him.
Well, that's what, you know, Kimura said towards the end. He was like, no, the ladybug isn't good luck. It just holds all the bad luck so everybody else could have good luck.
Yeah.
And that's what he is.
But then Brad Pitt's like, I don't want to hold everybody else's sorrow. No, thank you. And I feel that very much.
Yeah. I did like Bad Bunny's like backstory. It's like, oh, they just did the red wedding. But
totally. If there's one thing I learned from this movie, I guess there's a couple of things I learned, but one of the major things I learned is if you're an assassin, do not, and I repeat, do not get married.
No.
Don't get married.
No, or at least, you know, make sure you vet everybody extensively.
Well, you figure Bad Bunny's, well, the wolf's wife died.
We can call him by his character.
Bad Bunny. The wolf's wife died. White Death's wife died.
Yeah.
The Elder's wife died. Everyone died. Everyone's wife died. It's
Most
terrible.
of the people in this movie die except for, I would say, Ladybug, Kimura, the father, and Tangerine. Everybody else dies.
Yes.
Yeah, everybody.
Totally.
else. Yeah.
Absolutely. You know, speaking of death, I think the greatest role, that's everyone in this movie, speaking of death, the greatest role, I think, and the hardest probably acting in this movie comes from Logan Lerman as the son, who was in it for 5 minutes and then had to sit there dead the entire time.
You know, if I ever was to be in a movie and get paid a lot of money,
Yeah.
I would love to be that character.
Totally.
Or even Sandra Bullock's character. I just have to sit in a booth and talk.
I was even wondering if she was even there at the end.
She was.
Was she?
Well, green screen magic. I
Yes,
don't know.
could have been computer
Most
Sandra
likely.
Bullock on a green screen put wherever Brad Pitt was.
Most likely, yeah. But I did love. So you could tell the director's tie to Deadpool because there were so many characters in this from Deadpool.
Oh, Domino,
right?
Zazie Beetz.
The Hornet.
Yeah.
Yeah, which I loved that she was in that costume the entire time until the
In my
end.
heart of hearts, she was really in the costume.
She
that
had to have
actor
been.
was in the costume.
You know, she probably would have been. She seems like she'd be down for that. She's like, oh no, I'll be in the costume.
Totally.
It's totally fine.
There are some really good bloopers of her and Brad Pitt's fight scene.
Oh, I didn't watch it. Why didn't you? What the hell?
I was doing research. I'll show you after.
Okay.
Actually, no, can I be completely honest? It was one of those Derek things that I do when I don't see a movie. And if I don't think I'm going to see it, I watch media about it. So I watched the bloopers like a couple of months ago. But nothing stayed with me. And it
Okay.
didn't spoil anything.
Anyway, let's move on.
You know what? I try and come clean and I be honest and I get shot down.
You're a ladybug.
Yes. I'm
But
like
we
that ladybug from A Bug's Life. but also the Brad Pitt ladybug.
Yeah. All right. So the assassins are there, right?
They're there.
Who was your favorite assassin? Out of all of them?
That's hard.
Okay, we'll do it.
Okay, I think I'm going to choose Lemon.
Okay.
Lemon was loyal.
Uh-huh.
Lemon was funny.
Uh-huh.
Lemon survives. And
right.
Lemon also has a very interesting philosophy on life and is not afraid to enjoy children's television to inform who he should be as a human being.
And he just walks around with sticker sheets. I just feel like you really you saw yourself in him, because I guarantee you have sticker sheets.
I have a whole thing of stickers right next to me in this moment.
He would be in library world. I could definitely see Lemon being youth services.
Totally. I think either Lemon or Ladybug were my favorites.
Yeah. I mean, Ladybug was great. It's always fun to see Brad Pitt. He's been doing this almost like reintroduction into movies, because for so long he was that like heartthrob and everything. And then he went into more serious movies and then more action movies. And now I feel like he's trying to get back out there, but being like this cool guy, but also funny guy.
Yeah, he's back to being Brad Pitt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But with like experience and wiseness.
Yes. He has many years of being very learned. How about you? Who is your favorite assassin?
Tangerine and Lemon. I like them both.
The pair?
Yeah, they were just great.
He loves a citrus.
Yeah, well, yeah. Lemon is my favorite citrus of all time.
That is tea.
Yeah. Also like it in tea. But I liked their backstory, the little tiny bit that we got from it. Their found family almost. And yes, they went into a terrible work field later in life, but they did it together.
They're brothers, the twins.
Which is great. I love that. They're like, are you sure you're twins? Like, yeah, we're twins.
What was your favorite or / most gruesome death? Which was the one that you were like, I mean, this movie had us literally exclaiming like, oh, when things happen.
I feel like you definitely have like a lower tolerance for really gory stuff. Oh, man. I got to say, I don't think necessarily it was a death. It was a lead up to the death, but White Death, and he put his sword through his shoulder and like kept going down. I was like,
yes,
yikes.
That was mine.
Not when the gun shot back in him and took off half his face. That was whatever. It looked fine. So it didn't really gross me out too much, but that shoulder, I wish it would have kind of like fell open whenever he like finally stood up. That would,
Yeah, that was mine as well. There was something, and especially because like you think like they got him, and then the train crash happens, and then he stands up, and it's still in him, and his arm is still there.
Yeah,
that was gross.
What about you?
That was mine.
Oh,
same.
Okay,
Samesies.
Okay, my most let's do satisfying death.
I know mine.
Yeah, it's gonna be the same
one.
Yeah.
Should we say the name of the character on 3? Let's see if it's the same.
It's not going to be the same one.
Oh, no.
I guarantee you, but let's do it.
Did you just change?
No.
Okay, ready? 3, 2, 1.
Hornet.
Prince. Oh, interesting.
That one was satisfying, not because the character died, but because I thought it was so funny. He's like asking her, do you want this? Do you want me to just hold your hand? You need water? It was just so funny. And I liked the move that he did. Like, he knew she was going to get antidote, and he just injected himself with her hand. That was just so cool. But Prince's...
that was the most satisfying for me because she was actually the most frustrating character for me.
Oh, my God. I think my least favorite was Prince. I liked her character, but like...
Oh, yeah. And
annoyed.
Joey King did a phenomenal job. I mean, Joey King's an American actor, right? So she did the British accent. Yeah. She can cry on cue. She spoke Russian, from what I could tell, pretty well. But oh my gosh, was she so annoying. She was just so manipulative to everyone that it drove me crazy.
Yeah. This movie does really push the limits to what actors' accents can be done. There were some slippery ones.
Yes. I mean, for the 3 lines that he spoke, Logan Lerman's Russian accent.
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah. I was like, when I saw him, I was like, oh, it's Percy Jackson. I was like, oh, it's Percy Jackson.
Yeah. Not great.
He had an easy job too. He's just dead.
Yeah, he's just dead. But the 3 lines of dialogue he had were not the best.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, some of them, like, I feel like when an actor that doesn't have a British accent, whenever they try to do a British accent, it's always upped.
Oi, I'm on a train.
Right, it's like Cockney or something.
Yeah,
it's like, yeah, I don't think so.
Is that me, mate Lemon?
Yeah.
But going back to the prince's death, though, the poetry of Lemon killing her with a truck full of tangerines, that was a chef's kiss moment.
That was nice. Like, see, I don't need a lot. That was just great. And we got an amazing, train crash scene where Brad Pitt was just flying through cars.
All I kept thinking about was, what town are they demolishing right now?
Poor town.
Poor Japanese suburb outside of Kyoto.
Yeah, it was past Kyoto. That's all we know.
Yeah, they kept going. They kept going.
Yeah. But I do. So those definitely most satisfying death and then favorite kill, without a doubt. Let us comment below.
Yeah.
What were yours? I got to know.
What did you think of the whole White Death storyline?
It's fine. I feel like that's something that's in the books that may have been more fleshed out, or since this is the second book, maybe it carries over from the first one. It did feel like that was another story that could have been a whole movie on its own.
Yeah.
But we were just following Ladybug this whole time. It was fine. I mean, Michael Shannon's a great actor, and I felt like he played this character well. He plays those villains or eccentric people pretty well. General Zod, it's a great example. It was fine. I didn't hate it, but I was just like, okay, it's very predictable. This whole movie is so predictable. It's just the choreo that happens to get to there is a little unpredictable.
You know what? I wish I was paying more attention to the layout of the train, because that the production knew exactly what car was in what order.
Yeah.
So I kind of wish I knew that, just to better piece things together, so I could be like, wait, what car are they in now? What's happening?
Oh, yeah.
But that's really me commenting on the choreo of the entire thing. Okay, so if Lemon's here, where's Tangerine? Where's Ladybug? Where's the bar cart? Where's Hornet? So that, I think, was done really well. But like you're saying, sort of the physicality of everything was done wonderfully, but it was like the story that wove it all together. We either needed more or almost even less.
It made sense in the end, because this person killed this person's wife that connected to this person, and to get this person on the train, they needed to get the ransom money, which blah, 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 blah. It all makes sense ultimately. But yeah, it's like, okay, so all of these people are technically villains with a bigger villain. It's all like who can outgun or who can outwit who, really, that comes out on top. But yeah, the White Death, I was just like, I wasn't really intimidated by him. He had a bunch of henchmen. It was fine. I did like him and Kimura's feud. I thought that was great. I liked the justice in that, and that they ended up winning overall. He was probably the only good guy in this entire movie.
Even though he was an assassin too, right? Because that's how he knew him, when they were both assassins in the past.
Well, you don't know. His wife died. And his son survived. Maybe his father just made him do it. I don't know.
Yeah, sure. But I mean, he absolutely knew how to use that samurai sword.
He did.
And when you are at the level where you can get a weapon concealed as something else and it looks beautiful, like his cane sword, you're up there. You know what you're doing.
Yeah. We can't forget, though, out of all the assassins and all the characters in this movie, we can't forget the water bottle. I loved that it showed how the water bottle got on the train and how it ultimately saved Kimura and his son by being able to throw it at the White Death's head.
How much did Fiji have to pay to be the water bottle?
There was a few product placements in this movie that I thought were hilarious, especially with the beers and stuff like that, because they would have the label turned out and you could see it. It's like, oh, that's Bud Light.
Not to mention wasabi peas.
Yeah,
not a brand, but I mean, wasabi peas are delicious, so I fully support. Again, that is sort of an example of the things that they knew that we didn't know, the choreography of everything. I mean, it's clever. It's clever in what they do. I also think we should touch on not only the cameo of Fiji Water, but a couple of the other cameos that happen throughout. So we have the one and only from NBC's Heroes, Masioka, as the conductor.
Hero.
Yes.
The second that I saw him, I was like, Hero.
Save the cheerleader, save the world, baby.
Did you guys ever watch Heroes? That show was so good.
For like 3 episodes.
No. Don't listen to him. It was good until it wasn't.
What was Ali Larter's character's thing again? Like, she had like a double in the mirror or something like that?
She had like, it was almost, how do I put it? It was almost like Crazy Jane from Doom Patrol.
Ah,
You know, like when she was the other, she had like strength, blah, blah, blah. I loved her character. I thought it was great because it was mysterious until it wasn't. And then it was like, oh, okay.
interesting. I didn't get that far.
What?
Well, I wanted like superheroes. And when it was like a lot more drama than superheroes, I was like, I don't want to watch the same one.
All right. So Patreon episodes, making Derek watch Heroes Until It's Not Good.
I would be down for that. I was down for it when it came out, and then I just lost interest.
Oh my
I was like,
God.
there's too much talking.
Yeah.
Why aren't they fighting?
Yeah. What was the name? Oh, yeah. The Petrelli brothers. Oh, God. They annoyed me so much.
Oh.
Yeah. Anyway, but that show's great.
Okay.
But I was very excited to see him just make a cameo in this movie. I thought he was going to be an undercover assassin or something. He wasn't.
That would have been cool.
But I just liked that he was such a stickler for like having a ticket.
Listen, you can't be on the train without a ticket.
Right. And it made a barrier for our main character. He couldn't get off the train because of it.
Yes. It's like other assassins, poisonous snake, the conductor. Those
Oh
are
my
his
God.
3 barriers.
What's the name of the snake? Boomslang?
Boomerang, Langadang.
No, I think
No,
it was Boomslang.
I think you're right. Yeah. I don't know. I made that up.
Both of them I don't think are real, but either way.
Listen, if a snake gets you, I was like, watch out for that snake. You never knew when the snake was going to come into play. And then like, I like when people were falling on the floor and they just saw the snake.
Yeah.
Who was it that like saw the snake and they were like, am I in hell or something? Or
I don't remember.
Oh, it was so funny. I enjoyed it. That's the thing. There was so much humor throughout this entire thing. And even taking these things that were supposed to be scary and making them funny, really enjoyed it.
There's too many snakes on this gosh darn train.
You know how many? There's only one snake and that was too many.
Yeah, well, yes.
Hello.
One snake on any kind of transportation vehicle is too many snakes.
Do you remember in real life when that snake popped out of the airplane ceiling while they were in flight?
Oh, I thought you were talking about us. I'm like, that never happened to us, but
That did not.
no.
Luckily.
Yeah, no, that's not okay.
No.
And I don't think it's allowed. I don't think you could put animals up there anyway.
No.
So good for the snake.
Yeah, escaped. We had another cameo by Channing Tatum, who was like American tourist wanting to do sex stuff.
Yeah, because it's Channing Tatum and he's always like queer baiting all the time.
Typical Tatum.
100%. Have you ever seen This Is the End?
No.
Okay, well, he's like a sex slave in that one.
I feel like he plays that role a lot.
That's what I'm saying. He
Yeah.
always does.
Even in the movie with Sandra Bullock, The Lost City, right? He was
Yeah.
just kind of like the hunk.
It tends to be in these comedies where he like goes like the bisexual route, but like not really that way. It's very interesting. Is he bisexual? Comment below. Is Channing Tatum bisexual?
Yeah,
guys?
I don't know.
Need to know.
Let us know.
Just for scientific reasons.
Well, what's the deal, man?
Yeah.
Quit queer baiting.
If not,
Are you queer or not?
yeah.
Are you coming out or not?
No.
No pressure. No
come
pressure.
out when you're ready.
Totally.
Channing Tatum. if you're
Who's
listening.
Magic Mike for? Tell us the truth.
Magic Mike 6 coming out of the closet.
Oh, I mean, why not? Let's do it.
Oh, God. Okay. I mean, I feel like this one's kind of short because we said everything, really. Are there any more cameos?
Yeah, there's one more.
Oh, I know.
The ultimate
Yeah, I know. Yeah, go ahead.
Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, Ryan Reynolds.
Deadpool himself.
Yeah, of course he had to be in it. What was his name? Carver?
Yes.
Yeah.
Which was the whole mistaken identity. That's poor
Yeah.
Ladybug.
Yeah.
Didn't deserve that.
Hey, he came out on top. It's fine.
He sure did.
He got bit twice by a snake. It's fine.
He survived.
He did.
He almost got crushed by a piece of the train at the end. Survived.
Still survive. I mean, if you can survive a bullet train crash like that, going full speed,
Yeah.
you're lucky.
I'd be dead in an instant.
I can't believe how many people survived that. The last 5 people on the train or so, but you know, movies.
Movies. I mean, the entire thing. Movies.
It was fun. I'm glad you guys finally picked this one. I'm glad we put it on there. We're going to have another one up towards the end of this month, so make sure you vote for that. We're going to carry over one of the movies from this last one, and we'll see when it gets picked. You won't know which one it is until we post it.
They're all like, we already know.
No, you don't.
Interesting.
It's
Who
Emily the
knows?
Criminal.
We're bringing her back.
I don't even know if I want to watch that.
I don't really even know necessarily what's that about. So
Well,
it'll be a
okay.
surprise.
There is this woman named Emily.
Tell me more.
She becomes a criminal.
Got it. All right. Well, I guess I'm caught up to speed. Sounds good.
Oh my God. All right. Well, that's our review of Bullet Train. It was mindless, fun, just
Action-packed, colorful.
yeah, it is what it needed to be. I feel like if there's a second one, I'm game. I'll watch it.
Yeah, Brad Pitt in a bucket hat.
It made me want to read the books. So, hey,
That's very
marketing
good.
worked. Yeah. So, bye.
Take care now. Bye-bye then.
Oh, Jim Carrey.
Thanks for listening to A Bite of. Artwork and editing by our own Noah. Be sure to follow us on Instagram and Twitter at A Bite of Pod, and on Facebook at A Bite of. If you have any questions, recommendations, or just want to say hi, you can contact us on abiteofpod.com. Please be sure to subscribe, rate, and review to spread the word. See you next time on A Bite of. Bye.